Hi y'all, Renee here. Today I am here to show you this stamp set, which I absolutely love, which is called, let's see, what's the name of it? When It Rains. So here is the stamp set. It comes, you can buy it, doesn't come automatically, but you can purchase it with the die to cut out the girl in her umbrella. I highly recommend it. This is very, very useful. So what I did was I made a card that I'm using. This bluish color paper back here is from the March-April mix-in paper, as well as the background, just a solid background from the March-April cardstock mix-ins. And I just wanted a very simple card to send to someone who's having a hard time. So what I did was I cut the girl and stamped her onto watercolor paper because I wasn't sure how much watercolor I was going to be using. So it turns out I probably could have done this on regular White Daisy cardstock because I didn't use a lot of water, but I just wasn't sure how deep and dark I wanted the colors to go. So just play it safe and use watercolor paper. What I did for the sentiment is, and I'm sorry, I used Intense Black because I was going to be watercoloring. What I did for the sentiment was I stamped it in Intense Black, then I immediately stamped it with Versamark, which is a sticky ink, and then I just put a clear embossing powder on it. Because this is such a simple card, I wanted to kick it up just a little bit and get the sentiment embossed so that it was a little bit shiny. I'm not going to be able to you're probably not going to be able to see that on the camera, that the sentiment is shiny. But that's what I did for that. And I just used my Misty for all of my stamping, because when you're stamping on watercolor paper, most of the time you need to stamp twice, sometimes 3 times to get a good impression. Then what I did is I just went through, if you haven't created something like this, it was just a simple piece of watercolor paper. I took my watercolor pencils and this is Queen Purple, so that's this one right here. This one's kind of close as far as the barrel goes for the color of the ink, the color of the watercolor, but not exact. So what I like to do is I like to create this little sample thing. And what I did on this one was I just scribbled so that I could see what the watercolor pencil looked like without water, because you can use them that way. And then I took a watercolor brush a water brush, and just did some water on it to see what it would look like once it was wet and what color it became when it dried. This is a really good way to match to papers. It's also a really good way to see, okay, what colors do I want for what? So you'll be able to see in my process video, which I will put on after this because I did turn on my camera, exactly what colors I used, but let's see if I can remember. This is Ocean Blue. I used, let's see, I think I used Earth Brown for the little bit of her hair, the tops of her boots, the bottoms of her boots, and then the little tag for her boots. For her skin, I used Apricot Pink. For her skirt, I also used Ocean Blue, but I did not add any water. That's just straight watercolor pencil. Then for her coat and her boots, I believe I either used mustard yellow or tropical yellow. It looks more like mustard yellow. And then the watercolor brush that I used was just an inexpensive little watercolor brush. I think this one's by Sakura. And I just used the one that had the smallest tip because I knew there were some areas that I wanted to get into that had very small little areas. Watercolor is not as hard as you would think it would be. For many years, I did not do watercolor because I thought it was just too hard and I was afraid of it. It's just paper. Try it. Watercolor pencils are not very expensive. They last a really long time. And you can either use just plain old brushes, or you can get the watercolor pens. Let's see if there's anything else I need to share with you before I stop gabbing. I think that is it. Very simple card, but I hope it makes her feel very good when she gets it. And with that, I will go ahead and put on my video footage of making the card. I did the entire thing start to finish, so you'll watch me cut the papers. You will watch me do all the die cutting, all the stamping, even the embossing. I did that on camera, and the watercoloring, and then putting it all together. So thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. If you're not already a subscriber, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Just hit that red button down below. It doesn't cost anything. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. That helps me a lot with YouTube. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the footage.